morning to you.
Good morning, sir.
I hope I got the name of your organization right.
That is Independent Power Generators Ghana.
Okay, great. Nice to have you on the line. It seems one of the reasons for which this one Ghana cedi increase has happened is so that they can cater for the cost of fuel that usually goes to you, the IPPs. First of all, before we come to what you even think about it, how serious is the problem when it comes to fuel, alternative fuel aside the gas that most of the power plants usually use?
Okay, thank you very much. You recall with me that because from the beginning of this new administration, the energy minister made us aware that we have inherited serious crisis. Serious crisis as in the sense that there was going to be a maintenance work on the gas pipeline for which there should be a liquid fuel alternate in the tanks to support the generation. Unfortunately, that was not there, and for which they have to resort to more or less a crisis management situation to hurriedly look for fuel to support the generation. And that has been the situation. Let me say demand keeps increasing, and also we are not getting enough gas to support. And also for the fact that the gas that is available, it's only some of the plants that can use it. So those that cannot run on both fuel are relying on the gas, and those that can run on both fuel are using the liquid fuel with some little gas to support the generation to keep the lights on. So this is the challenging nature of the situation.
And the energy minister says that this is not included in the tariff. Is that accurate?
The liquid fuel, yes.
How many plants currently rely on that liquid fuel?
Asogli is one, Sun Power is one, AXA is another. I think these are the plants that runs on the liquid fuel right now.
I see.
I believe the VRA plants in Tatwadistan may also be on the liquid fuel, but mainly Asogli, Sun Power, and AXA.
Well, having said that, what do you make of this move by government? The 1 cedi increase in the levies to cater for some of these challenges, including the debts?
Let me tell you, or as I said earlier, the inherited crisis for the past 8 years, a lot has gone wrong. From the debt side, nothing much has been done about it. Government raised bond on the back of the ESLA to pay the energy sector debt. Unfortunately, not even a penny found its way to paying the energy sector debt. There was no investment in keeping the infrastructure integrity well. That is where these days you see a lot of plant maintenance or maintenance activities going over. This is a major risk that shouldn't be taken for granted. So the situation is just there one. Government needs to look at it critically, take these measures to survey the situation. Otherwise, things wouldn't look good in the near future.
You're saying, as far as the debts are concerned, not so much has been done about the debts.
Exactly.
So they inherit the debts, a very terrible debt situation.
Yes.
And then also,
after the time, the new government, let me say, NDC was leaving power. They were actually paying about 80% of our invoices, accumulating 20% in debt. But as we speak, at the end of December 2024, the Agbon government was paying less than 20% actually, accumulating over 80% in debt. That should tell you the magnitude of the debt situation.
So you're saying, as at the time the NDC was leaving power, they were paying more
2016, 2017.
Okay.
They were paying 80% of our monthly invoices.
Wow. And the past administration, because portions of ESLA was supposed to be used to cater for this. When you're talking about paying your invoices, are you talking about the power you generate and the money
Power
that's
is
supposed to come to
generated
you?
and supplied to ECG.
20% of the
Yes.
invoice you send was what was being paid?
Yes. Less than 20% actually.
Less than 20%.
Yes.
And where was the problem coming from? Was it coming from government? Because I heard they had the cash waterfall mechanism that was supposed to cater for this.
There was so much interference in the activities of ECG. I raised issues of procurement issues. I raised issues. There were so many interference in the ECG's revenue administration. I raised these issues long ago that ECG is not on its own. There is a big voice or big hand controlling their affairs. That they prioritize things that do not actually focus on the sector.
Really? Less than 20% of the invoice you were sending was what was being paid. Was that why you were threatening to shut down some power plants?
That is it. Not even threatening. You remember some of the plants have actually gone off. Some of the plants have actually gone off.
So this government has inherited all that liability that they are supposed to take care of.
Yes. And the fact is that we made them engage them that if no action is taken immediately, honestly, the near future, very near future, is very murky. The power plants will go down anytime because many of us, many of the power producers have defaulted on their loan repayments and are not able to manage the input or logistics to keep the plants running. It's not only about fuel. If you are giving me fuel to keep operating, how do I manage my maintenance? How do I manage my other inputs that I use to generate electricity?
So you're saying this government currently now has to first pay for your invoices when you generate them and also clear the debt that the NPP administration left.
That is the point.
I see. Is that different from the legacy debt that they were trying to deal with before they left power and hand it over to the NPP?
That is the legacy debt.
Oh, it's part of the legacy debt.
We talked about the legacy, then also talk about the current invoices.
But how far will 5.2 billion a year go to deal with both the matter of the fuel and then this unpaid invoices that you're talking about?
Oh, I think it to significantly support the system. You know, ECG is also collecting some revenue from one end. Then this one also coming to support. I think it will go a long way to support in solving the problem.
Well, part of the proposals the minority made yesterday was the renegotiation of the contracts that were signed by the IPPs. This they put on the first John Mahama #1 that they said they negotiated terms with your members that puts capacity charges, which are part of the reason we have the debt we have currently. That's correct, right?
That is fine. But if government is comfortable with the outcomes of those negotiations, yes, they can go ahead and negotiate. But it's still important to me that they really look at those negotiations very well.
That they go back to that negotiation, even the negotiation that was being done, and look at it.
Yeah, but they were not concluded.
They were not concluded.
Yes.
Okay. And that's what the minority is asking, that this government should conclude those negotiations. That to help greatly.
Yeah, that is what I said. If they are satisfied with where it has gotten to or where they have been taken from, why not? They can go ahead and sign them off. But the issue I am saying is that, they can reconsider it, go over it before finalizing.
Will your members be interested? And so far, based on the negotiation, and I'm sure you know about these negotiations, are they ready to do away or part way with the monies that they were getting as capacity charges?
That is why it's a negotiation. So once everybody can be satisfied, why not?
I see.
It should be a win-win kind of negotiation. So I believe everyone will leave the negotiation happy if it's a fair one.
In the meantime, you are saying the measure to increase the levy by 1 cedi is necessary.
To me, yes. Otherwise, the consequences will be unbearable.
The consequences will be unbearable.
I mentioned it's a crisis situation. The minister mentioned about lack of funds to even procure fuel. There is not enough money to even pay the arrears because the power generators are also having their creditors on their neck. All these things have to be addressed immediately. Imagine the plant shutting down because there is no money to run the plant. Imagine job losses. Imagine you walk into office only to be told there is light out, and you have to wait for hours. Or imagine transformers breaking down, substations collapsing because there is no investment to keep them in good shape. So this is the criticality of it.
And for the Ghanaian who is worried about what do they call it, and the increase in the potential increase in fuel prices because of this, you represent the IPPs. What would you say to them?
Sorry, please.
Because this will mean that they have to essentially, at some point, because it is cost that goes to the average consumer. What would you say to that consumer about their worries that at least we should be enjoying now?
We are all in the crisis. That is the reason why we brought in that is the reason we have the new government. We brought them so that they can fix the country or they can reset the country for us, including the energy sector, which is a very critical one. So to me, it's a responsibility all of us have to shoulder. It is very necessary for the economy to fully recover.
Doc, thank you very much for speaking to us.
You're welcome.
Dr. Elikplim, Apetorgbor, CEO, Independent Power Generators, Ghana. In fact, if you're listening to us, I want to know what you think about what he is disclosing, that